Romanoski. I am the science coordinator for Anne Arundel County Public Schools, and this is a video to help you get started with your research. If you're interested in participating in your school's science fair, our AACPS Regional Science and Engineering Expo, or maybe you're dreaming really big about going to Regeneron ISEF, which is the world's largest international high school science fair for students in STEM. We take students every year based on how they compete at our AACPS Regional Expo. So today's topic will basically cover the why and how do I compete in my school's science fair. So here's the why. Why would you participate in your school science fair? Maybe you just really enjoy science, engineering, computer science. You want to keep learning things beyond what's in your classroom. Maybe you're part of a club. And as part of that club, you get a chance to do some of these things and work with friends, work with a teacher mentor. You just really love learning about and researching science and applying it to new situations. Maybe you and a friend want to learn and explore science together. We do have the opportunity for team projects at the school based science fair and the regional. And maybe it's just that you like competitions where you get to share what you've learned. If any or all of these bullets apply to you, participating in your school's science fair is a great idea. And the resources that I'm placing in Brightspace are here to help you, your parents, and any teachers who may be mentoring you know the steps it's going to take for you to be successful along the way. So, one of the big events we have every year in Anne Arundel County Public Schools is our Regional Science and Engineering Expo. School top winners. So if you go to your school's fair and you're selected, you will compete in our Regional Science and Engineering Expo. There are some really great awards. There are cash prizes that are given out by different organizations that support us, recognition from local businesses. We've had students who have been offered internships. We have students who receive small monetary awards from local businesses. And one of the coolest things is that if you are a high school winner, at our regional expo, you'll compete at Regeneron ISEF, which, as I mentioned before, is the world's largest science and technology fair for high school students. Multiple college scholarships are awarded each year to students who win special awards categories. In fact, in 2022, we had a student who won a full academic scholarship worth $200,000 to Drexel University for her work in the special awards category. So, how do you get started? I've got a quote here that I'll give you a moment to look over. Science is about curiosity, right? So part of knowing where to get started is to know who to talk to as well. So talk to your science, STEM, or computer science teacher. Let them know you're interested in doing a science fair project for your school and that you may need a little help and support. As I mentioned, this Brightspace page is going to have a lot of help and support for you, but you may need some help and support in your building as well. So it's good to have a mentor in the building who's willing to help you with the questions you may have. Second thing, like I mentioned, is to get curious. What are some things that interest you? What research is out there that can help you generate questions? And I would strongly recommend joining or starting with the support of a teacher, a club that could support your learning. Perhaps your school has a science club. Perhaps your school has a coding club. Perhaps you're a member of the Science National Honor Society. Perhaps you've never looked to see if your school has any of these things, and maybe it's time to talk to a teacher about starting a club during the day that can support you and other students who think like you do about science and STEM. There are a lot of additional resources that can help you get curious and start thinking about your projects and where they could go living on the Science and Engineering Expo webpage on aacps.org. There's a rolling set of pictures from our last expo that live here, and then some resources. There's a secondary science fair resource guide, the ISEF rules and guidelines. These are the rules and guidelines we follow at the regional level, as well as the categories that we have at our regional expo and subcategories. So you can get an idea of where your research might fall and which category you would choose to compete in. If you have a hard time starting your research, I would recommend that if you're in high school, you look at sciencenews.org, or if you're into coding, code.org. If you're in middle school, sciencenewsforstudents.org and code.org. Sciencenews.org and sciencenewsforstudents.org are both two websites that house articles about science in real time that are written by journalists who have a science background. I'll show you the middle school one right now. These are really great. They're completely free. So, like today, when I look at the front page, I've got some information from a few days ago. Warning, nicotine poses special risks to teens. You're going to have some ads that come up because this is a resource that relies on some ads. We've got some information about cricket farmers going green. But let's say that I'm really interested in plants. I can do a search up here for plants, and I will see recent information that has to do with plants. If I don't like what I'm seeing, I can change my date range. Let's say I just want to see stuff within the last 6 months or so. So I can put in November to May. I can hit submit, and I can see what the newest, most relevant information is. Me eating plants, that looks pretty cool. Secret forest fungi partner with plants. So, again, this is your middle school science news for students. Science news at the high school level looks very similar. It's just a place you can go to see what is interesting, new, current out there being written by science journalists to get you started. Once you have an idea of what your topic's going to be, start reading through those articles. Some questions to think about that can really help fuel your project are: what articles or ideas get you excited to learn more? You're going to be spending a lot of time learning, so you want to make sure you're excited about it. What other research could evolve from this topic? So when you read your articles, what do you still wonder about? Write those ideas down, and it might be the seeds for your research. What are some other questions that could be answered? Another great way to go. If you have questions that are left unanswered, perhaps that's where your research seeds begin. And where else could you look for more information? So, science news doesn't have everything. There's other stuff out there. But as I mentioned, it's a great jumping off point. Consider these questions, and it's going to help you build the seeds for your own research that adds to the conversation out there in science. So that's the end of this video. Thank you so much. If you need help and you're looking in the realm of science proper, you can give me an email. My email address is listed here. If you're looking at computer science, maybe you're more into the coding, programming side of things, reach out to Justin Sirota. He is our resource teacher for computer science, and he's really the one who can help you kind of formulate your ideas for programming, coding, things like that. But I do hope this is helpful. You're welcome to watch this as many times as you need. If you're a student, make sure you show your parents this so they can support you. If you're a teacher, make sure you've checked this out so you know how to support your students. And as always, reach out as you have questions. We look forward to seeing what you come up with for your school's science fair and for our AACPS Science Expo.